I'm JP Peterson. This is your Gators Blitz for this off week. The Gators will not have the game coming up this week, coming off the 26-7 loss to Miami. We'll get into what's going on with the University of Florida, some updates from this week's press conferences, and what lies ahead for the rest of the seasons and seasons beyond as the schedule came out this week for the SEC next year and years beyond. So we'll get to that in just a few seconds. Want to thank our sponsors, the Jeeves Law Group, Jeeves lawgroup.com. You can go to the website, give them a call, or email them to set up your free consultation. Scott Jeeves, a big Gator fan, so he loves supporting the Gators, and not the biggest Billy Napier fan right now, I could tell you that. But we love the Jeeves Law Group, Jeeves lawgroup.com. You can go to the website and schedule that free consultation. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. Non-attorney spokesman offices Tampa and St. Pete. And by the great folks at Riveters, the official Florida Gator watch party is at Riveters each and every weekend. They have great crowds over there. Absolutely love hosting the Gator Club, the local Gator Club here. So if you're looking for any type of fun and fan base to go watch the games with, it is Riveters right there just north of 275 on Dale Mabry, just south of Raymond James Stadium. So you can, if you're going to Bucks games, of course, race season is over, but anything going on at Raymond James Stadium, stop in. You can do the free parking there at Riveters and walk to the game. It's about less than a mile, so not too bad. And please go inside and have a great meal, great fresh food there. The staff is amazing. Prices are very, very reasonable. The chicken wings are off the chain. It's Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show and your Florida Gators. All right, let's get into it. The Gators coming off a 26-7 loss to the University of Miami down there last week, and it was an ugly display by the Gator offense. A total just 31 yards in the first half, going backwards on their first three running plays. The Miami defense was absolutely swarming, and DJ Lagway had another very, very tough day, 12 of 23 for just 61 yards total in the game. The Gator offense could never get on track, and that was basically the story of this game. Meanwhile, the Gator defense has been playing lights out football most of this season. They get up just one touchdown to USF, one touchdown to LSU, and really kept this game close. In fact, second half, it was 13-7 as the Gators came out, got some life in their offense, ran the football, scored, and then got a pick right after that, Cormani McLean, and they were set up to do some damage and probably even take the lead. But Billy Napier's offense has just been absolutely anemic and could not get anything going. And Miami tacked on a couple of scores at the end to make it 26-7. So they head to the bye week 1-3, having lost to South Florida 18-16 at home after beating LIU, and then losing at LSU 20-10. Where DJ threw the 5 interceptions, including a pick 6, and then the loss at Miami. And they head into this off week at 1-3. They'll be hosting the Texas Longhorns. We'll talk a little bit about that in just a moment. So what's going on with the Gator offense? It was interesting. Nick Saban came out this week and said this is one of the more talented teams. In fact, the best roster he's seen at Florida in quite some time. And that's true. There are a lot of 4-stars and 5-stars on this roster, but Saban said the fact that Lagway has not been able to practice in the offseason, wasn't able to practice in spring, has been fighting a ton of injuries. In fact, this week, Lagway was seen around the Gainesville campus with a boot on. He had a boot on earlier, a few months ago, with a calf injury. So maybe that calf injury has ruled its ugly head again. But whatever it is, DJ doesn't look like he's running very well. His accuracy has been awful. This is not the quarterback that we saw the second half of last season. And that guy was playing with some injuries. So Lagway is really, really struggling. There's the offensive line. It's big. It's good. Trey Wilson and some of the targets that he has, certainly he's got lots of weapons. So a lot of this has been put on Billy Napier, and rightfully so. He was asked this week if he's still going to be the primary play caller, and he said, absolutely, not necessarily something Gator fans want to hear. So Napier is on a very, very hot seat. There's no doubt about it. This is a team that he's done a great job recruiting. They had a nice run at the end of last year. Even Nick Saban said they're capable of beating anybody. But when you're not beating other teams and you're losing to your rivals. I think he's 3-11 now, or 3-12 against his rivals. It's not going to get the job done. So Napier, unless they can finish with a flurry, I would say his days in Gainesville are numbered. Who's next? Jon Gruden's name has been floated out there. That would be interesting. I'm not sure how good Jon would be in college. I worked with Jon for obviously many years that he was here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He did not tolerate young players. He did not tolerate inexperienced players. And obviously he would be working with a bunch of those in the college ranks. I don't know how good he would be recruiting and kissing 19, 18-year-olds' asses. I'm not sure that's something that he's down for. So listen, Jon Gruden would bring a ton of juice to Gainesville. There's no doubt about that. And he would certainly get that offense headed in the right direction. Whether he would be there long-term as a coach would remain to be seen. Whether he'd be effective as a college coach, I do not know, but it certainly would be a welcome relief from the Billy Napier days. I think for a lot of Gator fans, they would love to see the juice of Jon Gruden, but who knows where this is headed. We just know this: at 1-3, Gator Nation is not having fun. A couple quick notes on the upcoming schedule was released this week for the SEC. Next year, the home games for Florida, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Vandy, and Oklahoma. Nice home schedule right there. Away games, Kentucky. They'll be going to Auburn for the first time since 2011. Missouri and Texas are the away games next year. And, of course, the neutral site game against Georgia in Jacksonville. 2027, that game's going to be in Tampa. Remember that. So the permanent opponents for the next 4 years for the Gators, the three permanent opponents, Georgia, South Carolina, and Kentucky. So their LSU and Tennessee rivalries kind of put on hold for the next few years, which I don't think that's good for the game. I know expansion in the league has brought a lot of things that people don't like. I'm not a big fan of the expansions. I'd love to see them go back to the original geographic roots of all these conferences. But, this is part of the modern day college football landscape. And now that the SEC has gone to 9 teams, these will be the opponents that they play. In 27, their home games will be against Kentucky, Arkansas, LSU, and Texas A&M. Not really a great slate there. The away games, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi State. Oh, you get to go to Stark Vegas. And Tennessee with the neutral game against Georgia in Tampa, as I mentioned. 2028, South Carolina, Auburn, Missouri, and Texas are the home games. The away games, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Vandy, and Oklahoma, and the Georgia game back in Jacksonville there at the revamped Gator Bowl. All right, so Texas is coming up next week. Texas finally got a win. Arch Manning looked okay against the greatness that is Sam Houston State as they beat them 55-10. Last year, obviously, the Gators went to Texas and got spanked 49-17. That was the game DJ Lagway did not play. They rested him. So we'll see if DJ gets out of his boot that next week and is able to go play against Texas as they come to the Swamp for the first time. All right, that's where we're at. Gators are off this week. Texas at home at 3:30 on October 4th, their next home game. This has been the Gator Blitz, brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. You go to the website and get your free consultation. And the great folks at Riveters, the official sports bar and watch party place for the Gator Club of Tampa. So you can watch all those games at Riveters and the great food and staff they have there. Next week, we'll be back with another Gator Blitz as we look ahead to Texas. See you then.